Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope you're doing well. Today is the 26th of December, which is also known as Boxing Day here in Australia. Yesterday, Santa Claus did come along and deliver some goodies for us. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. Now, can you guess what's inside these boxes? If you checked out the thumbnail, you maybe already know. And this box over here should give you a good clue of what's to come. Now, let's start with the first order of business. I can't wait to show you what's inside here, so let's get unboxing. Alright, here we go. So we've got a board here, and it says please use the safety plate between the base cabinet and the tank. So this is kind of like the foam mat. I'm interested to see this because it's basically like a piece of plywood or something. It's just really hard. Says, thank you for choosing the Scaperline. We hope you enjoy creating your own piece of art. And this is a handmade cabinet. Okay, box number 2. I'm sure you could probably already guess what this is. Oase Scaperline 60. You probably saw that coming. Oh, whoa. I am a bit confused. It's a box within a box within a box. Box inception? What the? Maybe it's behind here. Ah, good. We have the tank. It looks very beautiful. Obviously you can't see much, so I'm gonna take out the boxes and then see you in a second. Okay, next box. I'm sure you're very familiar with this. We've got the Oase Biomaster 250 thermo version. Okay. So we've got the beautiful filter itself. So a couple of my favorite features of the Oase Biomaster. With the thermo version, you already get the heater that's integrated within the filter. The good thing about having the filter with the heater combined is that you reduce one piece of equipment within your glass tank. So you'll get a very minimal setup. And you know me, I love minimal setups. So very clean ear slots out at the back. You can adjust the temperature here as well. And the other thing that I really love is this, the pre-filter. So the pre-filter is something that is made of a lot of sponges. You can get 3 different types. You've got the coarse, the medium and the fine sponges. And what it does is basically it traps all the debris and all the waste, things like leaf trimmings and large items, and they'll get trapped within this pre-filter. And what that means is you can get really clean water, because then the rest is then filtered by your biological media, and it's super easy to clean. You know, makes maintenance a breeze. Just pop out this filter, the pre-filter, and you can just wash the sponges. Obviously you've got a lot of volume for biological bacteria for your media, and that way it allows more and more bacteria to colonize the filter, and you'll have a much more stable tank. So all in all, one of the best filters out there on the market in my opinion. You've got an integrated heater, you've got the pre-filter and lots of volume for biological media. Honestly, it is worth every cent that you pay for. You know, you'll be using these filters for 5, 10, 15 years, so it's definitely worth the investment. I myself have 2 other Biomasters, one on a 90p and one on a 60p, and even till this day, after using it for many years, no issues at all. The tanks are very stable and the water quality is very, very good. The last thing that I want to flag and recommend you not to do is to never run the filter without any water in it. If you run it without any water, you will risk damaging the impeller. This is the last box. Lucky last. Alright, it is an Oase Crystal Skim 350. Now this is my first time owning a Oase skimmer. Never had one before. First time unboxing it as well. So it says here, 3 years warranty. It is for 350 liters, so definitely more than enough. Wow, it's actually really small. This is the unit itself already. Quite interesting. Let's see. Wow, it's really, really small. I kind of like it. So yeah, you've got the kind of top that bobbles up and down, and then the skimmer part itself. Now I wonder how I clean this. Oh, okay. So you can take off the net. I think this is good. It stops fish from getting sucked in. And then you've got your little kind of sponge in there. All pretty good, pretty intuitive. Very nice. What is this? It's a little tweezer or something. I think it's to get the little sponge out. Oh, that was quite some work. I think that was the most amount of unboxings I've done in a single video. 4 unboxings, there you go, there you have it. So yeah, as you can see, we've got a full Scaperline 60 set from Oase. So it's the grey cabinet and the 60 centimeter tank. The tank itself measures 60 centimeters long by 35 centimeters deep and 35 centimeters high. Slightly bigger than your usual 60p. I think it's around 70 or 75 liters. And we've got the Oase Skimmer and we've got the Oase Biomaster. So huge thank you to Oase Australia for sending through all these products for me to try and test out. A couple months ago, they reached out to me to collaborate and see if I was interested. For me, I was definitely interested. I've been using Oase products. I love the work that they do. And so I was also very interested in the Scaperline itself. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos from Yuri's and MJ Aquascaping in Europe. So yeah, very excited to be able to see the Scaperline down here in Australia. Also, a full disclaimer, even though everything here is sponsored by Oase, I still retain the integrity of my opinion and my review. So for me, I come from a perspective where I like to try different products and I kind of provide you with my honest feedback. So we're going to start with the tank and the cabinet. The Scaperline set really is tailor-made for aquascapers. There are a lot of these features and minute details that have really been thought through for aquascapers. So I think if you're a true aquascaper, you would really appreciate these small details. So let's start by running you through some of the coolest features in the Scaperline set. All right, cool feature number 1, we've got an adjustable base. As you've seen before, the base is adjustable to ensure that you can get a level aquarium. It is really important so that you don't get these slanted water lines. Not all cabinets come with these, so I think it's really, really good that Oase thought of that. Bonus tip, you can actually adjust it from the inside of the cabinet. You don't need to be flipping the cabinet over or trying to twist at the very bottom of the cabinet. Just get the Allen key in there and it works really good. Feature number 2, soft closed doors. With reasonable force, these doors are able to close softly, and they kind of like slow down right before they get to the end, and so you can ensure that you're never banging your cabinets. Feature number 3, magnets on the inside face of the cabinet doors. This allows you to mount all your aquascaping tools right on there. The magnets are pretty strong, the tools don't fall off at all,
Really easy, really good to have your tools really close by when you're doing maintenance. Next up, feature number 4, modular side panels. These side panels sit on the side of your cabinet, like so. They've got magnets attached to them, and so that they fit really snug within the hole. The good thing about these is you can actually choose which side you want to mount them on, since they're all modular, and basically it allows you to customize which side you want your lily pipes to come out and where you want them to be fully closed. So I've had some fun with this. You can kind of decide, oh, you know, on the left hand side I want to have a bigger hole or a smaller hole. You can mix and match the different ones. So overall, a really good feature, because sometimes you only have the lily pipes coming out one side, and on the other side you can completely close it off. Very nice, well designed, I like that. Feature number 5, the drawer for the filter. This makes maintenance super easy. All you have to do is pull out the drawer and you can get easy access to the pre-filter. Feature number 6, this one is a rather small detail, but I think you'll appreciate it. There is a small gap between the shelf and the sides of the cabinet. What that means is you're able to slot your hoses and your cables through that little gap all the way down to the bottom. That just helps for hose management and cable management. Super neat. So there you go, my top 6 features of the cabinet itself. I do have a couple of minor issues with the cabinet. The first is when it came, the door was a little bit loose, or I guess the screws were a little bit loose, and so the door didn't come flush. But that's super easy, you know, all you have to do is get a screwdriver, adjust kind of the hinges. There's a bit of fiddling to play with, you know, make sure one's tighter than the other. You gotta kind of line it up and trial and error. But eventually I got there, so that's all good. The second thing is, I'm not fully sold on this kind of plywood base, or this hard base that they give. I'm not sure how well it's gonna do if, let's say there's a small grain of sand that's stuck in between the glass and that plywood, because there's 2 hard surfaces pushing against each other, and there's a high chance that it will crack from the bottom of the glass. So look, it doesn't look like there's a huge issue right now, but I think to be cautious, I'd actually put a rubber mat instead of this hard kind of base. The other thing is that hard base is not exactly the same size as the bottom of the tank, which is fine, but it's also not the same size as the cabinet. It's like a bit smaller, and it's kind of weird. I don't know why they would not just make it kind of the same size. But that's just a minor thing. I think in the long term, I probably would put a foam mat underneath, just to make sure and be super safe. And the last thing is that there were some minor marks and minor scratches on the cabinet itself. It's not a huge deal for me. You can't really see it unless you look really close up. So yeah, just if you're gonna buy this cabinet, just have a look, make sure you're happy with the one that you've got at the shops. Next up is the glass tank itself. It measures 60 by 35 by 35. I love the fact that the depth and the height are the same. They're both 35 centimeters. Super high quality, high visibility, low iron glass. You can kind of see it with the bluish tint. And my favorite here is the 45-degree angle mitered edges. Not only does it look very nice and very minimal and clean, but it is actually also a stronger bond between the 2 glass panels. And that's because on a 45-degree cut, you have more surface area to be in contact with the silicone. I also love that they've got the Oase logo etched in the glass on the side panel. That way, you know, you get full clear view of the aquascape from the front, and then the branding is just on the side. Now I just have one minor issue with the glass. It is where the silicone joins are. There's some minor strands of just extra silicone around the edges in some parts, but you can only really see it when you look really closely. Now, unfortunately with the skimmer, I haven't had a chance to test it yet. I'll have to wait till I flood the tank, and I'll do another test and I'll show you some more footage on how that works. But aesthetically, it looks pretty good, very minimal as well, quite small, not very obtrusive. So yeah, and I do like the fact that they've got a little skim guard on top so that fish and shrimp don't get sucked in. I've had issues with the Eheim ones where fish and shrimp just get sucked straight in. Oh, and I almost forgot to tell you that the cabinets come pre-assembled, so you don't need to spend time trying to put it together. Overall, super happy about the Oase Scaperline set. It definitely feels premium and it is definitely designed and built for aquascapers. If you're in Sydney and are interested in getting one, have a look at Vero Aquatics. I'll leave a link in the description. So that's going to be a wrap for today's video. A huge thank you for watching and a huge thank you to Oase Australia for supporting the channel. Stay tuned because we're going to get cracking with the hardscape in the next episode. But for now, take care and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.